Hey guys, it's Lucian, and today is the start of the O.W.L.s Readathon. So, technically that statement that I just said is actually not true because it is April 2nd, but the reason that I did not start filming for this readathon yesterday was because I was reading Imagine Me by Tahereh and Mafi, and I did a separate vlog for that, so if you're interested in my thoughts on that book, I will link it in the description box below. Like I said, I was reading Imagine Me, and that was just because, I started it on the last day of March. And right now, it is counting for my arithmancy part of the O.W.L.s Readathon, which is to... What was the challenge again? Oh yeah, arithmancy is to read a book outside your favorite genre. My favorite genre is fantasy. Imagine Me is dystopian, but I don't know if I'm actually going to count Imagine Me in my end of the month, thing. I'm counting it for my end of the month wrap-up, but I don't know if I'm going to count it for the O.W.L.s Readathon. If I don't read enough books, then I will, but if I am able to fit another book that counts for arithmancy, then I will not count it. Does that make any sense? But right now, I have, a bunch of stuff open on my computer, but, we're going to be doing the O.W.L.s Readathon. So I have done this readathon every single year. This is my first time vlogging it. I have actually vlogged it for the last 2 years, but I just never ended up posting those videos. So I'm hoping that I post this. I have finished Imagine Me. Okay, we're not talking about Imagine Me anymore. But basically, if you're not familiar with the O.W.L.s Readathon, I will link everything in the description box below so that you can catch up on all your knowledge, but it is a yearly readathon that is inspired by the O.W.L.s examinations from Harry Potter, which was taken in their 5th year at Hogwarts, and it is sort of the preliminary readathon to the Newt's readathon, which takes place in August, and I have never participated in, so hopefully I can participate in both this year. But I have motivation to vlog and upload this video. So, I don't know if I'm going to do it week by week, or just a giant video at the end of the month. Right now, I'm looking at the Wizarding Careers Guidebook, and this is basically... This readathon is very complicated, and there was a lot of time put into it. It's hosted by G from Book Roast, so all her stuff is in the description box. But basically, what you do is there are a bunch of reading challenges that coincide with different classes from Harry Potter. So there is, as I said, arithmancy, there's potions, charms, stuff like that. The Wizarding Careers, once you pick your career, that tells you what challenges you have to do, and also how many. So, if you were an alchemist, for example, you have to do every single challenge that there is for the O.W.L.s, and also, when the Newts come around, you have to get an O, which is, outstanding. You need to get an outstanding in Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Herbology, Potions, and Transfiguration, and you need to get an E, which is excellent, in Astronomy. So, I don't really know how the Newts work, so we're not going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about, I'm not really paying attention to the careers, because I do want to do all the challenges, but if I just had to pick, Alchemist is the only one where you have to do every single challenge, I believe, but if I had to pick, I would probably be I'd probably be a ministry worker, but for that, you only have to do 5 of the challenges. So, I'm gonna try to pursue ministry worker. I don't really know. I'm just gonna... I'll just read more up on all of them and get back to you. But, basically, I do have, a tentative list of stuff that I want to read, but, it's so tentative that I'm not even gonna listen to it. The only one that I'm, almost 100% sure is the one that I'm gonna be starting next, which is The Honey Don't List by Christina, which counts for Ancient Runes, which is a read book with a heart on the cover. That book has, a bunch of hearts on the cover, and a big one in the middle. So, that's what I'm gonna be doing for that. But, yeah, I don't really know, what should I be for, the career? I don't know. I could be the Trader of Magical Tomes. That seems like an interesting one. But you only have to read 4 things, so maybe I'll be one, but, like, I want something that's challenging, because obviously I have a lot of time to read this month, and in August, I mean, I might have a job, like, to do, but it's gonna be, like, part-time anyway. I don't know. Oh my god, this is like... I mean, a spellmaker, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Owl's things, and you have to do an outstanding in ancient runes for newts, an excellent in arithmancy, astronomy, and charms, an outstanding in history of magic, and an amazing in transfiguration. I don't know what A stands for. But yeah, I'm just gonna sort of tool around with this. I'm only reading books that are on my TBR. I don't want to be buying books or getting books from the library that I don't already want to read. Like, I don't want to just read books to fulfill a challenge. So, yeah. But I think I might... Oh, wait, there's Culinary Sorcerer. There are, like, a lot new things. So, wait. Actually, this might be fun, so we're just gonna go through them. Do I want to be an astronomer? Not really. I don't want to be a neurologist, I mean, it's cool, but again, it's not challenging enough, and I could just bend the rules. Like, I could just pick whatever I want and do all the challenges anyway. I don't know. I'm gonna pick and then get back to you. Also, wait, I'm sorry. I'm watching Zoe's video from last year, and I am going to print out all the things that G made. So, like, all the things that I was looking at on my computer, because it was just, there's so much attention to detail. But, also, I think I can read 12 books this month. I read, like, 14 last month, and, like, 4 of them were over 600 pages, so I think I'll be good. Hello, so it is April 3rd, and I am so far behind already. Anyway, today I am actually going to start reading another book for the readathon. I don't even know if I'm going to count Imagine Me. We'll see at the end of the month. But I actually have some things that I've printed out here. So I have chosen the career that I want to do. I want to be a ministry worker. And the things that are required for being a ministry worker is you have to do charms, defense against the dark arts, history of magic, potions, and transfiguration. Once again, I'm gonna try to do everything, but, also, if I were a ministry worker, I would definitely be in the Department of Mysteries, because I think that would just be so fun. That's the one down here. But, yeah. So, I just thought a ministry worker would be the most fun, because it's also the most versatile. And then just the third thing that I printed out was the was the prompts. And I want to, like, put these, I want to, like, decorate them or something. Like, I want to make them look even fancier, so maybe I'll stain them with coffee or something, or I could, like, I don't know, I could just make them look much fancier and put them into a journal that I'm going to use this month. So I have 3 books right here that are the ones that I want to get to the soonest. So the first is the O.W.L.s by Christina. I think I'm just going to read this one because I could definitely finish it tonight. It seems like a really fun book that is just going to be really fun to read, and this counts for multiple challenges. It counts, obviously, for the read a book with a heart on the cover. It also counts for read a contemporary, and also, read a book with a white cover, obviously, because it's, like, there's a lot of white on this cover. It's, like, all white and red. So that is this one. And then I also really want to read The Night Circus and The Night Country. These are by 2 separate authors. So, basically, I think I have to read these for the night classes one. I have to at least read one of them for the night classes one, which is to read a book when it's mostly dark out, just because they both have night in the title, and I feel like I have to. I think I'm gonna count this one for either read a book with a white cover or read a contemporary, and then I can count this one up for read a book with a heart on the cover, because if you couldn't tell, there is, like, an actual, like, a heart organ, not just like a, you know, cartoon heart. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But yeah, see, it's right there. And I was like looking when I first looked at the cover because I was like, I think there is a heart on this cover. And then I was like, oh no. And then I was like, wait, that could count. So I think I'm going to do this for a read a book with a heart on the cover. And then for the night circus, I could do this for a read a book when it's dark outside. I have read the first like 100 pages of this book before, and I really enjoyed it, and I desperately want to continue, because I just think it's going to be a really fun book. But for tonight, I don't really want to read either of these books. It's already pretty late in the day, because I was doing schoolwork and stuff, but that should be over. Like, I'm not really, since next week is supposed to be like spring break, since we're all quarantined, it's online anyway, but it's like supposed to be spring break, so what was I saying? I don't know, it's not going to be like really classes, it's just going to be like very light work. Anyway, I'm going to get to reading the O.W.L.s, and I will check back in later. So, it's probably like an hour later, and, I did move, I swear. I went into the other room, into my mom's office, and she was watching TV and I was reading my book, but I am currently 103 pages into the O.W.L.s. Something just happened at the end of that chapter that I was kind of confused by, but I'm sure if I keep reading then I will understand. But this book is super short. I only have like 200 pages left. But before I put in a bookmark, I thought it would be fun to use one of the Harry Potter bookmarks that I have. I got these like a while ago, and they each have like a color, like they each have, each one is inspired by a Hogwarts house. So there's Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff, and I'm going to use the Gryffindor one because the book is red, and the Gryffindor colors are red and yellow, and there is even some yellow on the book as well. So, yes. I don't think I've ever used one of these before. I don't know. But it is very cute. And, oh my god, that's so cool. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. I think it's very interesting to get the sort of inside look at book tours, especially as someone who wants to be an author. I don't know if this is like 100% accurate, because these people are like super famous, but it is still fun just to get like a little inside look at like how things work at bookstores. But also I don't think I've even explained what this book is about. Basically, there is a couple named like Rusty and Melissa Tripp, and they are sort of like the Chip and Joanna Gaines in the story. They are like an HGTV family. They have a bunch of shows, and they have a bunch of like TV shows, and they have a company, and they are on book tour for like their third book or something, and they actually cannot stand each other. So they did love each other in the beginning, but like sort of the fame got to them and they have sort of drifted apart, and this book follows each of their respective assistants. So we have Carrie, who is Melissa's assistant, and James, who is Rusty's assistant, and they have to go with, like, after something happens in Rusty and Melissa's marriage, Carrie and James have to go with Rusty and Melissa on their book tour, which is like a 5 or 6 city book tour, around the country, and have to try to keep them together. So far, not a lot has happened. Like, there were like the first 100 pages were basically setup, which is normal with Christina Lauren books. The chapters in this book are so long. Like, I've only read 4 chapters and I'm already on page like 100. I'm enjoying it, and I think that I will definitely get further into it as the book goes on. I'm almost 100% sure that Carrie and James are going to get together, which is fine. I mean, I don't really have a preference either way. But we are done talking about that book. I'm going to go help my mom set the table, and then I am also, like, I'm gonna eat dinner with my family, and So it's a little bit later, and I read like 100 more pages of the Honey Don't List. I'm on page 199, and I don't really know how my feelings are about this book. I'm enjoying it. It's very easy to read. It's definitely not my favorite of their books. It's not like on Honeymooners level, but it's also not like Twice in a Blue Moon. I really dislike Twice in a Blue Moon. I mean, I gave it, which was like their last book, I gave it 3 stars, but even like thinking back, like every time I think about it, I just really did not like that book. But like talking about this, I'm enjoying it. It's not like terrible. I think it's gonna be like a 3.5-star book for me. I like both of the characters. I like following them, and I like how their romance is progressing. There was a very steamy scene. Probably the steamiest scene I've ever read in a Christina Lauren book. Actually, no, that's a lie. Anyway, it is... I'm sort of thinking that this book might be better as a movie than it is as a book. Like, I feel like it would just translate really well on screen. So maybe it will become a movie. I don't know, but, I think it is probably gonna end up being, like, my second favorite Christina Lauren book. I think. I don't really know. But it's honestly really slow. Like, not much has been happening. It's sort of, and like when things do happen, it's sort of just like repetition. But like the first 100 pages were sort of like just getting, like it was sort of just set up. Then the last 100 pages that I just read were sort of like romance development. So I don't know what the last 100 pages are going to be, but I'm going to be reading those later. I think the writing is good. Like, it's very consistent with other Christina Lauren books. It's just, I don't know if it's as, like, I don't know. And honestly, I don't know what I would change. Like, it's good and I'm enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it as much as, like, I could be enjoying it, but I also don't know what I would change if I could to make me enjoy it more. So, I don't know. I'm gonna finish the book a little bit later, but right now I'm gonna go and organize my room, because right now it is a mess. Yesterday I did organize my bookshelves, and I will show you that later, but I need to clean the rest of my room, so I will check back in when I'm gonna read more. So, it is much later in the day. It's probably midnight, but I am like 20 pages away from finishing the Honey Don't.List by Christina Lauren, and I'm going to save those last 20 pages for tomorrow. I just want to read it during the daytime because I'm getting a little bit sleepy, but I am still really like enjoying it. I've sort of felt the same way throughout the entire book. I think it's gonna end up being a 3-star, but I don't know. Some major things have just happened in like the last 80 pages that I read, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it would be, like, I think I said this before, but I think it would be a really great movie. So I will check back in tomorrow. That is it for today, and I will update you when I finish the book. So it is the next day. I'm not looking great, but I have finished the Honey Don't.List by Christina Lauren. I don't really have much to say about this book. I thought it was fun. I had a good time reading it. I was never, like, so bored, but I settled on a 3-star rating. I'm still gonna read all their books, or I'm gonna try to read all their books, and I'm gonna read all the books that they have coming out in the future, but this was like a really short read. I think it's fun if you're looking for something that just, you can turn your brain off and read. Definitely pick this one. Okay, so I think the next book that I'm gonna read is The Night Country by Melissa Albert. I am so excited to read that book. I'm going to definitely read a recap of The Hazelwood, because I remember, like, nothing from it, because I read it over 2 years ago at this point. So I'm gonna do that, and I will check back in if I have another update. So, it is the next day, and yesterday I think I updated you saying, like, my only update was that I finished the Honey Don't.List, But yesterday, I also got 97 pages into The Night Country by Melissa Albert. So far, I'm enjoying it. It is very similar in setup to the Hazelwood. The Hazelwood was it was pretty slow in the beginning. It took about 100 to 150 pages to actually get into the plot of the book and for things to start moving. But I suspect within the next couple of chapters we'll get into the actual adventure part of this book and the portal fantasy part. The portal fantasy part of the Hazelwood was like my favorite part of that book. I just think it was done really well, and I'm suspecting that this is going to be more portal fantasy because there's a literal door on the cover. But yeah, I'm hoping at least that we get into more of the story. But right now, I mean, I can't say anything about this book because it's a sequel, but right now I'm hoping. There was a character in the first book that was probably my favorite character that is, like, has not been in this book at all. Like, I think they've been mentioned once maybe, but, like, nothing has really happened with them. So I know they do have a perspective in this book that is third person just from flipping through the book, but I'm hoping that we get to learn more about them in this book. And I know, okay, I'm just gonna say it's Finch. And he also has a novella, I think, but I don't know if it's like accessible. I think you had to pre-order this book. I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to keep reading some more. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it right now, but I am definitely interested in continuing on, obviously, because I think that within the next 50 to 100 pages we'll really get into it, and it'll like start getting a lot quicker. But I am also reminded by how much I dislike Alice. I just feel like this book should not be in first person. I don't know why. This series, I feel like, would be so much better in third person. Like, most of my favorite books are told in third person. Like, I feel like if this was a more Caraval sort of way of doing perspective, I would have liked it more. So, I don't know. I am still enjoying it, and I am hoping to finish it today. I don't know if that will happen, but I am going to update throughout the day, so stay tuned. It is a bit later in the day. I think it's like 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I have to film this quickly because my memory card is going to fill up. But I'm about 200 pages into The Night Country by Melissa Albert. Right now it's sitting at like a 3 stars. The thing, like, I'm still 200 pages in and basically nothing has happened. And I was fine with that happening in, the Hazelwood, because at least in the Hazelwood, Finch and Alice were together, and Finch was sort of there to balance Alice's character out. That sounds so terrible. But in this book, we're sort of just meandering with Alice, and there is like a plot, like there are these murders happening, but there's no real agency with Alice. Like, she's not doing anything, and also she and Finch are apart, so I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Like, it's still fun, the writing is good, and I'm just waiting for something to happen. I'm definitely enjoying Finch's chapters. He's had like 3 chapters, and they're like third person point of view from him. Oh my god, my memory card is gonna run out. But yes, so far I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to read more later in the day. And once again, I hope to finish by the end of the day. It is just before midnight on day 7 of the readathon, and I thought that I would just close out this vlog. Sorry if the lighting is terrible, but I have successfully completed The Night Country by Melissa Albert. I enjoyed this book. I thought it was fine. I think I'm settling on a 3-star rating. It's kind of sad that the 2 books that I read in this vlog were both 3 stars, but if I'm being honest, I think I liked The Honey Don't List more than The Night Country. I was just expecting so much from this book that I didn't get, and like, I really was only having a good time for like the last 100 or so pages, and this book is like 370 pages, so 100 out of almost 400 is not the best ratio. And I feel like every time I like think about these books, I have very strong feelings towards them, like good feelings towards them, just because when I see their covers, I'm like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. But it, you know, wasn't that good. And honestly, I might even give it like a 2.75 out of 5 stars. I just didn't like it as much as the Hazelwood. It didn't have like the fun adventure part that the Hazelwood had. There was no like urgency in this book, for me at least, and I just felt very lukewarm about it throughout. And even at the end, when we were sort of getting into the actual meat of the story, I was not super impressed. It was kind of predictable at one point, because like when you're reading 300 pages of a book, you're sort of able to, I don't know, I can't really explain it, because I'm not able to predict everything in books, but I feel like this was very predictable. I liked the ending. I thought it was tied up nicely. I know some people said that it was tied up almost too nicely. I enjoyed the ending. I don't know if that's just because I'm happy it's over, but I did really like the new stories that we got in here. I mean, once again, those just didn't wow me as much as the stories that were in the Hazelwood, and maybe I've just grown as a reader, because I read the Hazelwood like 2 years ago, maybe even more at this point, so I don't really know. I think I'm gonna just give it 3 stars on Goodreads, but after, like, I will contemplate it a little bit before going to bed tonight, and decide, and I might change my rating. Anyway, I am very excited for the compendium that Melissa Albert is going to be writing about, like, all the stories. Like, it's just going to be a compilation of Tales from the Hinterland, and I believe that's what the book is called. Anyway, so, yeah, I will be reading that. Will I be getting a finished copy of this book? Maybe. Maybe I will ask for it for, like, my birthday, for, like, from family members, because I am shady like that. Hello, so it is actually the next day, and I realized I did a terrible job finishing my vlog last night, because I don't even know what was going on with my brain. It was evaporating. It's fine. But I wanted to just, like, wrap it up more eloquently. But, so the thing for the O.W.L.s Readathon, the challenges that I completed last week were Ancient Runes, which was read a book with a heart on the cover. I could count The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren or The Night Country by Melissa Albert for this one. But I also completed Muggle Studies, which is read a contemporary, which The Honey Don't List could also count for. Then I also completed I could have completed Care of Magical Creatures, which is to read a book with a creature with a beak on the cover, because Imagine Me has a bird on it, but I don't think I'm going to count it for that. I think I'm going to count Imagine Me for read a book read a book outside of your favorite genre, which is Arithmancy. So I completed Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, and Muggle Studies last week, and in total, these are the amount of pages I read. So I read 415 pages of Imagine Me for this week, because I read like the first 35 pages on the 31st of March, but I read 415 pages of Imagine Me. Then I read The Honey Don't List, which was 303 pages long. And then I read The Night Country. My ARC said that it was 360 pages, or 365 if I'm remembering correctly, but Goodreads and Amazon says that it was 330. So we're just gonna go with that. So in total, this week, I read 1,048 pages, which I am totally fine with. I think I really want to read more this week. I don't know what happened last week. I really didn't read much, but, yeah. So, I completed 3 challenges, I guess you could call them. I'm terrible at wrapping things up. It's already been 4 minutes. Anyway, so that is it for this video. And I am hoping, once again, to read more next week. Since there are 4 weeks, I read 3 books this week. I can read 3 books for each of the subsequent weeks and get up to 12. I definitely didn't read as much as I would have liked to this week, but I'm gonna basically start my next vlog right now. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. All my social media links are in the description box below if you're interested. Also, all the information for the O.W.L.s Readathon is in the description box below. Also, if you're interested in what I read for the first 2 days of this readathon, my Imagine Me reading vlog will be in the description box below as well. I sound like a broken record. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!